Oh, hello, hello, my friends. It's me, KP. I'm here in my studio, the Moon and the Maker, home of ArtFoamies. You already knew that. And guess what? It is already ArtFoamy Fun Friday. I cannot believe it. But here we are again together, having fun. Oh my goodness. Let me say hi to all my friends. We have a great group already here waiting. I want to wish you all almost a happy St. Patty's Day and happy Friday, of course. Linda Weber, nice to see you. Ashley's here. Oh my gosh, Dare B is here. Who else? Kristen, Deb, Sharon. You are hidden? Am I hidden? Can you not see me? Oh, let's see. Deb Peak is here. Patty's Vintage Shop. Carmen, good evening. Catherine Guerrero is here. Heather Bailey. Have you been chomping? Are you chomping at the bit? Yes, Heather got a chomper, a big paper cutter that can cut like 200 sheets at a time, and she is ready to cut some pamphlets, I think. Deb Bergstrom is here. Welcome to ArtFoamy Fun Friday. Yes, snowy Colorado. We have seen your many inches of snow up there. Stay safe and warm. Krabby Abby is here. Susan Horn, nice to see you. Cecilia, Terry, Christina, Zandra is here. Nice to have you. Roberta, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't miss anyone. Susan, Jim, did I say hello? Mary Lynn, Cynthia Yarberry. Also, I want to let you know, Cynthia, if you look on ArtFoamy's website, we do have the Daniel Smith's. Well, I'm not just talking to Cynthia, but Cynthia was asking. We have the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks back in stock. Same, deal. If you're a Moonie, you can use your discount. So you're getting a really extra good deal. We have just a few sets of each of those Daniel Smith watercolor sticks in stock, okay, at the ArtFoamy site. A few other things over there if you want to check it out, and I'll I'll do a little recap too. Lisa is here. Oh, thank you for commenting. I have my golden artist hat, and it was just my hair, honestly. Anyway, all right, I'm going to turn the camera around. We are going to gel with our ArtFoamies. We also are going to have a special only for anybody watching. I am going to give you a special code you can use for a discount. I want to let you know, I'm giving you a discount this week for St. Patty's Day. Okay, and I will be sharing that special code later on in the evening. So don't go away. Not trying to be secretive. We'll play the numbers game so you can win something. And what else? We're going to have a little demo. We're going to gel, because I know many of you like to play with your gel plates and ArtFoamies as well. So let's do it. I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you the gel plates I have on my desk right now. Oh, wait, I got to fix the autofocus. Give me just 1 second. Excuse me. So I hope you all had a good week. If anybody has anything to share, to chat about, love to hear from you. Again, let me fix my autofocus. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so what I have here, and I'm just going to tell you, I don't necessarily have, like a preference on gel plates, okay? They have Jelly Arts and they have Gel Press, and some other, I think Speedball has a brand, and there's a few different ones. You can even make your own if you find a recipe, okay? So, let's see, what else? Elsie, I'm sorry, Elsie is here. And Brianna is here. Colleen is here. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Heather, 400 pages, not 200. That's awesome. Terry, I'll try not to. Okay, so I have a few gel plates here, okay? Mine are the gel press plates, just because that's what I have. This is a 6x6. Here's one of the little minis, and I have to tell you, I love the little minis. This is the small little rectangle. I think it's like a 2x3. Just let me measure just to be sure, so I don't tell you something wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So let's see. Yes, this is a 2 by 3. So almost like a little ATC size. How fun is that? Sherry, oh my gosh, it's nice to see you. And then I have a round 4-inch, okay? So, and I pulled out smaller ones to, work with here for the demo because first of all, a big one will just take up so much space. Don't get me wrong, I love them. I love all the sizes. I think they're fantastic for lots and lots of, applications, of course. Now you all have been, gel plates have been around. There's lots and lots of artists, okay, who do like pretty much exclusive gel press work or gel plate work, who are absolutely fabulous, okay? I mean, I am not in their league. I'm not a gel plate expert, okay? But I do really enjoy mixed media. I always say you can't fake the layers. They are great with ArtFoamies, and you all know I have sort of my own, aesthetic and my own little things that I work with. Oftentimes are the sticks. So these are the Daniel Smith watercolor sticks. We will be working with these, okay? You can also use your Derwent sticks. Pull out a couple different things here. Your graphite, okay, graphite. Your watercolors. Now, a lot of people don't do a lot of watercolor with gel plates because they do have a tendency to bead up a little bit. But yes, you can, of course, also use your Derwents. And I do like to mix in a little bit of gesso sometimes. And when I say mix in, again, just talking about what's on my table, what I'm going to be pulling in. So a little bit of gesso at times, or a little bit of matte medium at times, okay? So just a variety of mixed media, all right? And I have a little bit of fluid acrylics as well. So the paper that I'm going to be using, I want to just, again, not an expert on gel pressing, okay? But I do have some of my own preferences. I do love to use newsprint, or just you can just use like like a newsprint, or like more of like a kid's drawing paper. A lot of times I will get the sort of thinner drawing pads at, say, like the dollar store or something like that, and just use newsprint. It makes it really nice. I mean, it is not a precious material, and it's nice and thin. I like the look of it, so I will use newsprint. I also do like just printmaking paper. It's great, and believe it or not, even if you're using a lot of water media, this works out pretty well, okay? Because a lot of times I am going to be using my gel plate pulls, okay, my prints. I'm going to be using them for collaging or mounting, okay? So I don't necessarily want or like a lot of thicker papers for that, okay? So this this is the lighter weight printmaking paper by Strathmore. I really enjoy this. I do love the rice paper, and I'm going to show you this, this Yasutomo. This is their sketch paper, but they also have some other, excuse me, like printmaking type papers, and it's great, okay? This is super fun because it does have a textured side, a very textured, and I know you can't probably see that well, and then one side is smooth. So it's really fun to mix and match. I generally do, and Estrella's here, and I can ask her because actually I had this paper. I did already own it, but I did not know. Estrella is the one who taught me or showed me that it was awesome for the gel plate. So Estrella, what side do you prefer when you do your pulls? I like both sides. But I think generally that the smooth side is the one that is intended, but you can use both. And I will show you some samples. Okay, so the papers I am using today are the Strathmore lightweight printmaking paper. this Yasutomo sketch paper. Yes, rice paper or tissue paper is great. You can use book pages, also awesome. Okay, so if you have like old, and you know, I have a couple like older, like dictionary pages or something like that is fantastic. Let me see. I'm gonna grab a couple of those. Yes, I'm tearing down the studio. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. Anyway, old book pages. I have the philosophy of mathematics and natural science. It has a lot. It has old. You know, it's already torn up. I like a lot of the words. And it's nothing that's ever going to be. I know I'm kind of funny about the words that I use underneath my art. I don't want anything to like, I don't know, with bad, like, I don't want any like detective stories with murders or bad work, you know, I don't know. I like them to have decent verbiage. So an old book page is great. And then I also have some, so I do like to use thinner watercolor paper. You can use like hot press, like 90 pound, something that's like cheaper. That's nice, but I don't have any of that with me right now. But I do have this Fabriano, what's this called again? The, oh gosh, Medievalis, the Fabriano Medievalis paper. And so that's really nice too. It's kind of soft. It's really nice for printing on, especially if you want to do something that's just a really nice print and you wanted to, you know, sell your artwork, assign it, and put it in a, you know, like in an envelope or something like that. This paper would be nice enough for that. However, I also do like to use it to pull prints and to use to mount because again, it's soft enough. Okay, so let me just see what y'all are saying. And Catherine, did Catherine say something? I'm confused. Smooth side up picks more of the paint. Yes, and that's what I thought. I thought the smooth side. And the reason, I'm just going to tell you, hopefully this is something to help you remember. The smooth, when you open up the pad, the smooth side is what is showing. So that can help you remember they put, you know, the side up that you're supposed to use. However, like I said, it's such a nice texture, and sometimes using that opposite side, you can get a really cool look. Okay. So again, just to remind you, I'm using the Yasutomo sketch paper. I'm going to use printmaking paper, and I'm using the Medievalis Fabriano, and also probably a book page or two. Okay. So I do have some samples to kind of share with you of just some of my things I've played with today and some of the things that I am going to be sharing with you. And I will also show you and share with you the ArtFoamies that I will be using. Now, of course, let me just say that I, you know, encourage you, of course, to experiment with any of the ArtFoamies that you love or that, you know, you're inspired by or that call to you. However, I will tell you that a lot of times you don't want anything way too detailed. Okay. So that being said, I am going to be using a couple pretty detailed stamps. But I'm going to show you a majority are going to be with a little bit bolder of a line ArtFoaming. Okay. So hi, Lauren. Nice to see you. Oh my goodness. Joining us from the UK. All right. So first, I do want to experiment and play with the new, because I haven't had a chance that much to use the new 100 proof press stamps that we just introduced. Okay. So I did, pull out the mushroom set, the fungi set, whatever. I don't remember what it's called. but it's two sort of realistic mushrooms, and I have those. I only worked with one of them so far, but I'm going to be working with the other one. And I love these little prints. I think they're awesome for fodders. Glimmer, some of course are not quite layered up all the way, but they were so fun to create. And they'll make great stickers. Oh, they would make a wonderful collage. And again, I did these on this tiny little plate, but you could do the same exact technique, okay, using your larger plate or your round plate or whatever, okay? So there's my little mushrooms. We're going to do some of those. I worked on the round plate and love the watercolor techniques, okay? And this is just a base layer, but I'm going to show you how, and I don't know how many of you have watched me during Daily Heart do Zen bubbles, but this is also a great way, a different way, okay, to make some wonderful Zen bubbles, okay? So again, this is using the round, the 4-inch plate, and I am using my garden, I don't remember what this is called. It's from the Gus K collection. I think it's, I don't know, flower doodles or something. All right, so that's those two again on the round plate. I have this and I love this. I think I actually ended up doing a couple extra, oh no, maybe not. Oh yeah, I did a card out of this one. And I like both of these. I think they're very, I don't know, sort of mysterious. You definitely could continue to wash over this one, especially, and let those leaves come out a little bit more. So again, I think a very successful base layer. Yes, I'm going to use watercolors on the gel plate. I've been doing that for years. I don't know how many of you, and this goes way back, okay, way back to, I think, Let's Get Makey Premium or something like that. I did, I used, and there's some photos on my Instagram of using my, what are those roses, my scribble roses, and again, I said nothing too detailed, but there are exceptions. So the scribble rose, it looks beautiful, and it's all with watercolor. So this is using my little secret garden, which I came out with this art from me a while ago, and it was just sort of one of those overlooked ones that I didn't really use that much, but I actually really like it. And you can see here, again, this is watercolor and just a little bit of white gouache, okay? You can also use little white gesso, okay? I'm going to tell you the difference between gesso and gouache, okay? A lot of people get them confused, all right? Gesso is an acrylic medium that is kind of like a primer, okay? And it dries more like an dries like an acrylic. It's not necessarily an acrylic, but it dries permanent. It dries matte. In this case, you know, this is white. There comes in different colors, but gouache is a different thing. Gouache, and there's different brands, of course. This is Artist Gouache. It is water soluble. Think of it as a opaque watercolor, okay? So they're not the same, even though they sort of can give a similar look. The gesso is going to be permanent and does not move with water once it's dry. They're also, I know it's a little confusing because the gouache, okay, there is acrylic gouache also, which does dry permanent. So, you know, you just kind of got to know and be aware. And yes, Jim, you can definitely use your layer cakes on the gel plate as well, okay? So we'll do a few different things, okay? And again, this one here is my little background. I don't remember, Secret Garden or something. I don't remember all the names, and I'm sorry about that. I should have looked them up before I came live, but you're probably used to me by now. Okay, excuse me. All right, so again, that was that. This one, the leaves, yes, I love it too. And I love it so much. And here's this one. And this one I think is from the Springy Thingy collection. These were my springy thingies because remember, I designed these to be movable, right? So you can have a literal image just like that, or you can also bend it or, you know, move it to have a different look, right? Oh, Kristen, thank you so much. Lush Forest. Not Secret Garden. Lush Forest. Anyway, this again, springy thingies, and super, super fun, if I do say so myself. So there's those. And then I enjoyed it so much. I did make a card. I went ahead and I think this would be a fun journal page too. If you don't want to do cards, small journal, but yes, or, you know, just make yourself some nice mandalas. Or now I know this isn't a mandala because, well, it's just not. It's more just like an image on a round, you know, cutout. But, you know, you could do mandalas, and this is the same thing that I just shared with you. It's just this. It's just pushed a little bit more and then cut out. And then, you know, I did some other stuff all around. Okay. So maybe make one of those cards. I went crazy. I've been in here all day just playing with jelly plates and watercolors and paints. This is another favorite. Okay. Yes. Colleen says, I forgot they're flexible. There's 4 different ones. Okay. And they all move and you can just use them sort of in different ways, which is fun. This is also a cute look. Like if you hold it like this, when you stamp it, you're going to get more of a solid leaf, you know? So thank you so much. So this, oh my gosh, this is such a fun and quick project sample. Great again for if you are doing the paper dolls, if you are doing goddesses, if you just like to, you know, do women or girls and, you know, maybe have some sort of aura behind her, mount her in a journal, mount her on a card, use her for your fodder. You know, it's really super fun, and you can do so many different looks. We're definitely going to do this one. All right. So I'm going to keep that out. And this is done just with the round plate, the simple silhouette in the small size. Okay. So in mine, I'm going to tell you they're a mess. Okay. Because I've just colored on them. I painted on them. And many times I don't wash them off. So it's kind of cool. You can see, you know, where they've been drawn, you know, made different things, and you can also use those as little guidelines if you want to. All right, and I'll show you that later. Okay, here's another one, and not finished, but you can see again using the simple silhouette and the watercolors, and the watercolors are how I got all those little sort of stippling. Okay, and again, just a nice base layer. I can continue to push this, paint over it, and really make something beautiful from it. Okay. I have so many examples. we're not gonna do them all. Okay. But, oh, that's such a good idea, Catherine. Oh my gosh, such a good idea. Catherine says, I hang a heavy string with tiny clothespins to hang gel prints to dry. Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that technique, because I'm on that. Here, I have my little still life. Oops, I'm dropping stuff. And this was a really fun, again, I know you can't see this very well. I did not push it further. Okay, this is the same stamp, just done a couple different ways. And I didn't push it any further because I wanted you to see it. All right. I might work on this a little bit more so you can just see how it was done. All right. Maybe just get the base layer, whatever. So, and I know this is way too much. We'll do some stuff. We'll have our I'll give you the discount. We'll do our numbers game. And then we will go over for an after party, and maybe we'll finish up, do some other extra stuff in the after party. Okay. Heather Bailey says, I throw mine on the floor. And I'm laughing because that's generally what I do too. I do have a decent amount of floor space, but I like the idea of hanging them and not having them on the floor where I have to step over them all the time. Save space and look so cool, she says. Yes. Here is my final one. Again, not finished. Nice layering. Okay, I love the textural buildup on this. And it is, again, done with the Lush Forest and many layers. And I will tell you, it is with the gel plate, but also with overstamping, because this has a lot. And it has a mixture of watercolor, has watercolor sticks, has a little gesso. So yeah, lots of layers on this, and I think will make a great background. Of course, duh, that goes without saying, but just also fun. Like if I do say so myself, because lots of times I like to use these pieces, okay, in my collaging and do things like cut out. Let me see if I can show you an example. I have it here. I thought I did. Probably don't. Probably just thought I did. Anyway, look here. I don't know. Just to cut like little scallops and things like that, because that is, I do have it here. I know it, and I'm determined to find it, because I just cut it out for a little book I was making. Well, no, then I cleaned up too much. Anyway, so you can take little portions of it and cut shapes, and, just use this again as your general sort of fodder bits. Okay. New terminology. Last but not least, I do have it. Well, actually I have a few more. I'm lying to you. Here, I didn't ever get to use my little rows of skulls. And so I actually, this was just an experiment, because I wanted to see how I could make some gradients using my Derwent sticks, okay? And it does get a little sticky, and so that's why it's a little bit striated like that. But I think it's fairly successful, and I think some of it, could be worked a little bit more or whatever, but I like those skulls on my gel plate. And I have to tell you the truth, I was just dying to pull them out and use them, really. So there's that one. I have a couple with Julie Balzer's large flower tangle, and that was super fun. I love the way this looks. It almost, I don't know, kind of looks a little batik-y. So both of those, again, great for my under layers. And finally, I think I said this already, last but not least, and I really mean it this time, is my koi fish, okay? And again, all these are base layers. I did not finish them because I wanted to come on here and push them just a little bit further for you, with you, okay? So let's start with this one, because I think it's kind of the simplest. It's really fast, effective. So here I have my gel plate, my round 4-inch gel plate. I'm going to spritz it with a little water. I'm going to take my, I think this is phthalo blue, and this is a Daniel Smith watercolor stick. Okay, the only thing different is that I took off my paper. The problem with that is I don't always, unless I'm really used to it, or make yourself a swatch. You know, what did I just say? Unless you really know your colors, you're really used to using it, okay? You can cut these off, but you should have a swatch so you know your colors, all right? I'm going to spritz this with a little water. I'm going to take it to the side, and I am going to just smush it and color all the way across, okay? Now, the thing is, I don't want it super, super wet. So, because the least amount of water that you have on it, the better it will sort of stick to the plate, okay? So go ahead and just smush it up. Now, keep in mind, your sticks are going to get kind of sticky and gooey. So you need to put them somewhere where they can dry out and, you know, not get all over your stuff. So I have a little tray over to the side. I'm going to set that over there. Now you also can, you can take, remember this is just watercolor, so you can take other colors. Let's see, let me find my simple silhouette again. I will tell you, if you have one that's a little bit cleaner, that's going to be good, because if you want to remove color from your plate, one that is clean and dry is better. Okay, so go ahead, you can put color on this if you want to add color. I could put a little white gouache if I want to. You keep in mind there's lots of different ways to do this, but right now I'm going to just spritz it again because it looks like it's drying. I am just going to pull some color up off of there, okay? And I think you can kind of see where it pulls it up. Now, if I want more color up, and I can off stamp this on something because maybe I want to use that. I don't know. I'm just going to wipe it on my blotter. I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to wipe it off again. Okay, just to pull some more of that color off. And then I can realign that. Again, if I want to put a little white, I could put gesso, I could put gouache, I could put a color. No, the water doesn't just bead up. Sometimes it will, Jim. It kind of depends on your plate. Now, I will show you this one again. Where did I put it? Do you see all these? This is because the water beaded up. So it really just depends. You can work it on here. I'm gonna keep my simple silhouette on here, and I'm gonna take some color. I have a little bit of opera rose, so maybe I want to, or maybe you want to even pull more color up, or maybe you want a brighter color. I don't know. You can just play with your colors. I kind of wanted opera rose, but you know what? It was turning it just a little bit purpley, so maybe I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna maybe put some green gold or something like that. And right now I'm sort of just smushing it. That's gonna stay wet. Again, if you want another color, you can have fun on there with other things. If you wanted to pull other bits up, you can take another clean dry stamp and pull some color up like so. All right. And I'm hoping, well, I got a little smushy, but it's okay. Again, it's not always, a perfect, where'd I put my, now I can't find my paper. Here it is. It's not always a perfect surface. And sometimes I will say, you will think, oh, it's going to be great. And then it's a disappointment. But that's the reason why I love to just pull out different plates and sit with my materials, pull out some of my favorite foamies, and just enjoy and have some fun. Now, again, if this doesn't turn out exactly, well, that's actually kind of cool. All right, so there you can see, not perfect, but that's okay. What I love to do is now you can take your Stabilo. I'm going to use, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and use my blue Stabilo. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can do this. Of course, if you have any face stamps that you want to use, you could stamp it right in here, but I'm just going to go ahead and use my Stabilo, and let's go ahead and get a black one just for a little more darkness, okay? And I'm just making her eyes close right now for ease, to make it simple. Okay, so and then I'm going to take my little water on my brush. And of course, if I wanted to paint in her hair, I can. Remember, that's all still movable, water soluble, so I can use it, just a touch of it, to create little shadows. And if you want to pull in other colors, you definitely can, you know, but that is really, you know, up to your preference. I think I would love to maybe take a little bit, oh, I'm going to get a little bit of magenta, a little bit of quinacridone magenta, and I'm just going to hit a few of those little bubbles maybe, you know, that were sort of in the air around her. Turn them a little more purpley or whatever. It could also be fun to do her hair. And again, this is printmaking paper, but it will accept a little bit of water media, right? And if you wanted to layer back over, you can use your gesso. You can, you know, again, you know, I say this all the time and I really, really mean it. They don't call it mixed media for nothing. If you want to let these layers dry and then go back over with your watercolor crayons or again, your acrylic paints, whatever, that is the fun and the beauty of it. And, you know, it's super relaxing to pull those prints, to watch them sort of come to life, and then to manipulate them even further, you know, if you want to. So I love doing that. And you can see here a few different little variations. Okay. So then of course it's really fun to cut them out and use them, you know, for your other makeys. All right. So that is with the simple silhouette and the round. I'm going to do one more just because I'm going to turn this over. This side's clean. Well, actually, so I'm going to wipe this off just a little bit. Spritz it with some water. Oops. And try to get off some of the color. Now, it will stain, you know, it will stain your plate a little bit, or it can. And so I don't know. Like, again, I'm not an expert on gel plates, so maybe you all know something I don't, a tip or trick or technique to get that stain off. But I don't think it'll really hurt anything as long as, you know, you get most of it off, if you know, before you switch colors. Now I'm turning it over because I think I want to use yellow this time. I want to, or maybe a little bit of orange and yellow, just to give her like more of a halo or sun. Now, do you see that, Jim? It is beading up on there. So it kind of depends what you use, how wet it is, but it still gives some really cool, fun looks and techniques. Now here I'm using the watercolor and it is kind of sticking a little bit more. So it probably sort of depends, I guess, on what, you know, water medium that you're using. And the thing I like about it, even if it leaves those little like bubbles and streaks or whatever, once you get it on your paper, you can still, again, paint and smooth over that, right? So just use this side, but this time I'm going to use a little bit of, you know, I'm going to use a little bit of gesso this time. And that way, the gesso, I'm going to show you a couple of things here. The gesso will make it a little bit more opaque. And it'll also make it to where it is like permanent so that I can watercolor around it. If you don't like the way that looks, remember you can also spritz it a little bit and you can smudge it with like a, I don't know, a brush or a scrap buddy. Okay, we'll try that. Let's get a little gesso there. And I have no idea. I'm just going to be honest with you. This has some old color, some old, I think it's even old Stabilo on there. It might print. I don't know. If it does, I'm okay with it. Oops, it's gonna get a weird. I should have done it a different way. It's gonna be a weird color. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna do it a little differently. Sorry about that. I'll do my white first. Do that like that, and then I'm going to spritz it a little, and we're gonna do it this way. And the reason I wanted to do this because I really wanted her to have like a halo. Brayers are great with gel plates. Yes, brayers, you know, I am going to tell you though, I love the way brayers make it look. I love the way they smooth everything out, make it have sort of that more gradient, you know, but I hate the way they get so gummed up, and I don't know. I end up getting very frustrated with the brayer, so I don't end up using it a lot. All right, and so remember, spritzy, spritzy if you want to. And I'm not getting a very good stamping right there for some reason, but it's okay. Remember, you can, and you know, I might end up having to overstamp, but that's okay too. I'm gonna try it on here. So the watercolor is dry, so you can pull the color over the top. No, well, they can't. Yes, they can dry if you let them set there for a while. But remember, anything will reactivate it too. That is kind of cool, my friends. And then remember that watercolor will reactivate again. So, and look, I have an orange Stabilo. Let's try it. And I actually wanted her halo around her to be a little bright, like a little lighter or a little more yellow. So what I'm going to do is, in order to make that just stand out a little, I'm going to take a little of my Opera Rose paint and smush it around the outside. That will at least sort of brighten up around her a little bit more. Maybe her hair should be, what color? Her hair shouldn't be pink. It should be dark, maybe. I don't know. We'll let that dry a bit. Maybe, oh, I don't know. I'm kind of debating what to do here. Let's go in with my little Stabilo and give her some details now. And then I would let that dry a bit, maybe go in with another little bit of wash. Again, it's on pretty, you know, thin paper, but you still should be able to use a little bit of your watercolors, or you could go back in, of course, with some, you know, watercolor pencils, things like that. Oh, and again, little touches to bring out some of the highlights and things like that. So super fun and cute and entertaining. I could really spend hours just doing stuff like this for really no good reason, just because I enjoy it. And I love seeing what kinds of things can sort of come to the surface, you know? So again, that is your simple silhouette with your 4-inch round jelly plate, and you get all sorts of fun variations, okay? And again, depending on how wet or water bubbly that you leave your watercolors on the plate, you can get some really different textures. And you know, like this, I'm just going to show you, I would not leave her like this. I would go in and still continue to you know, again, add some values and you know, possibly again even smooth some stuff out. And you could use your gouache, would be a great thing to use for that. But also, if you can see here in the background, I did sort of draw on the plate a little bit using some of my sticks, and so there are a few little patterns there. You can just go in with your watercolor either on your brush or a stick, and you can sort of pull those out and, you know, just make it so that some of those little more speckly textures are, I don't know, just a little bit of pattern in the background. But you can also push them back a little bit by, you know, using more opaque color. Now I will tell you this, I've had this gouache, this is artist gouache, white, opaque white. I've had it for a really long time, so it's I don't even know if it's really good anymore. It looks a little discolored, but I'm still using it. Anyway, here we can just do a little smoothing out in her face. The layer cakes, I'm gonna tell you, would be awesome for this too. So you all know I love Jane Davenport's layer cakes. If you have those, that would be amazing. I have some. I could pull them out and show them to you and use them a little bit too. Maybe we want, oh, let's get a little color on her cheeks again, because that just always makes me happy. We like a good rosy cheek around here. And maybe we just want a darker hair again. I think I'm going to use a little indigo or a little Payne's gray. And you can really see how you can kind of make those textures kind of, you know, recede into the background, and just keep them where you find them to be interesting, you know. So here, I think they would look nice in her top, so I probably won't try to smooth that out too much. Although I would think a little bit of maybe patterning on there would be nice too, you know, maybe with some of those similar colors. Again, if you are not liking that speckly on her face, go in again. Here's some layer cakes. These are the little sweet treat palette from Jane Davenport, and I'm just using some of the flesh tone, and it is sort of like a watercolor gouache, a little opaque, and it'll cover, give her a little more of a glow. You can keep building up the layers if you like to. And then maybe I actually would like a little bit I think of beautiful color behind her. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull out one of my go-tos, one of my favorite, and this is a little bit of quinacridone gold. And we're just going to pop some quinacridone gold right behind her. And that's going to help her pop out a little bit and help sort of, I don't know, it sort of makes those textures stand out even more, I think, but I kind of like it. And then you could do a little bit of solid, maybe going back again to mimic some of the darker value, and that's that Payne's gray or sort of an indigo. And that'll, I'm sort of like really into this whole portal thing. I don't know why or when that started happening. A few years ago, I think, if you see in my art, I really started doing like all these sort of openings, lots of goddesses and women coming out of them. And that has been some imagery that's been sticking with me for a while. So I like it. I'm going to kind of bring that out, and then we'll just put some more green gold just because. And I don't know, I think her face, honestly, I'm looking at her face and it still needs a little white. So I'm gonna look for my Jane Davenport. Where did I put it? The white. Where's my white? Dang it. I have a special white one. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. It's hiding at the back of the drawer. Sorry. Oh, so Carmen, I did not know that. So Carmen Jones says the Speedball Jelly Plate is meant to be used with Speedball water-based printers. Ink only. Acrylic paint will ruin the plate. So that's great to know. I have used a Speedball before, but I can't tell you honestly, and this is just my Jane Davenport white layer cake. And the only reason I'm pulling that out, honestly, right now is because my white gouache that I pulled out, like I said, is kind of old. It's a little discolored. And so I just want some pure white for some highlights. And so that's what I'm doing here. Just a little on her cheekbones, a little at the top of her eyelid, or at the underneath her brow, maybe some on the tip of her nose, and then some on her chin, and then on her neck a little bit. And again, maybe the top, because her face looks a little speckled, so I'm trying to smooth that all out. And there you have it. I think that looks a little bit better. Anyway, she looks pretty peaceful now. And that, my friends, so you know, it's jelly plate, but oftentimes, unless you are going to just, you know, do whatever techniques, stamp and stencil and spray and whatever, and make, you know, fun, grungy textural backgrounds, you know, generally, if you're going to do a piece of art that you just want to mount or put in a journal, you're going to have to work it a little bit. Okay. Sometimes I feel like you can get sort of, I don't know if lucky is the word, but you know, you can get some simple pieces that will work just as they are. Like I think this would work on something pretty much just as it is, maybe a little tiny bit of gold or maybe a word, but you know, you could pretty much just go with it, you know. But most of the time I think you're gonna have to work it a little bit or do something to it, you know, to make it more of a focal point. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So, okay, so we got the lady with, we got the simple silhouette. We got it with speckly watercolors. We got it with the round gel plate. Okay, let us pull out, oh goodness, what other one should we do right now? Oh, you know what? Let's do the little mushrooms, a couple of those, because these are really a lot of fun. And I know we're already actually running out of time. I'm so sorry about that. but we'll do a couple mushrooms here, okay? So I have my tiny gel plate. It's already, it's a little dirty. Let's go ahead and clean it off. Spritz it and wipe it. The baby wipe. Okay, so it does have some grungy little layers of acrylic on there, which you know are kind of fun. You get those little grungy bits, and then you put layers of acrylic and peel them up, and you get all that fun, funky texture. It's especially cool if you have some metallics in there and so on like that. All right, so this still does have some little grainy bits, but that's okay. Right now, I am going to take... And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use this other one because I did all of these. Move this before I get it all my stuff. I did all of these with the first little mushroom that has, I think it's like the little morel. You can see it better here. All right. So I'm going to use my other mushroom for these so that I have both. But I'll just show them to you again. And love the size. All right. And love how you can get so many... you know, that you can, oh my gosh, do so many cool things with. All right, so let's just start. Oh my gosh. We'll start first. And this is lots and lots of layering, okay? Little gesso right on here first. And we'll just do this too. Why not? Get it loaded up. And then let's take some colors. Oh, I don't even know what. Let's start with some, I don't have any green out, of course. Why don't I? A little Derwent stick. I'm going to wet my stamp again and smush this on here. We'll go ahead and stamp that. And then, oh my gosh, so many fun things you could do around. Acrylic, still your watercolor sticks, whatever you want to do. So I honestly, with this whole thing, I just had a lot of fun playing around with different color patterns, stamping with the gesso, and it didn't transfer as much color as I was hoping. Last time it really transferred a lot of color. Maybe it's because I had gesso on both sides and that was dumb. That's okay. Doesn't matter. All this, and especially because it is so small, okay, it makes it really fun. You can go around even after you've removed the stamp. You can go back in with other, like, I don't know. Let's just try rando colors and stuff. What I have here. Oh, and by the way, look what is new, my friends. Golden fluid acrylic now has the flow colors. I just got myself magenta and pink. And then I did get the light phthalo blue as well. So a few new colors added to the golden line. All right, and I am just going to use little printmaking papers for this. Oh, I love even just how that is. And the great, fun, cool thing is that you can keep going, okay? Now, I just want to tell you, if I stamp this on here, it's going to be opposite, right? So that does not necessarily work unless it's a symmetrical stamp. However, well, since it's so small and since it is clear, you can see exactly what you're doing. If you want to take another color, whether it be acrylic or whether you want to take one of your sticks, you can spritz it and you can color on it with your watercolor around, making making lines, just making more value, whatever. And it does, it will kind of grunge up on there because you know, has stuff on it, right? But the cool thing is that you can now hold that over. I'm not going to do it with that color because I already know I'm not going to like it, but you can hold it right back over. I'm going to go back over it with the yellow. So we're just going to have fun on here. Doesn't matter if it gets kind of gooped up, you know, whatever, just, and I'm using my little cheap kid brushes. Again, you can use your sticks, whatever. You know, maybe you even want to take another fun color. Let's see if I have my, take a little of this fluorescent yellow orange and just smush it right on here too. And then if you want to, what's cool is you can stamp right back on there again, pull some of that up, get some of that fun texture. I think a darker color would actually be better. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my dark stick here, do this. I mean, your hands will be so dirty and get so grungy, but it's so fun. Don't know if that was the best. Have no clue. I was going to go right over, but I think I'm just going to go here and try a new one. And remember to, ooh, that's kind of cool. Remember also is that if you want to, well, here, let me just show you. I'm going to get a different color again. Just a little teal. Let me get this stamp one more time. Actually, I'm going to get a little yellow on here. Just going back and forth with some of my same colors. Again, just everything but the kitchen sink, right? I'm getting some yellow on here. I'm going to stamp that down. Right there again. Take my teal, go around. And remember, this is that tiny little 2x3, but you can do all these same techniques on any size that you want. But now, again, so I have this. If I need to be able to see through it, I can take it this way. Maybe I want it right on top, so I can smoosh it like that. And that is gonna, oh, I love, love, love all those textural sort of little bits that stick to each other. And you get like these funky, you know, little colors showing from the underneath. And then, okay, if you want to now go back in and put a little bit of darker, whatever value around, or maybe you want to put a little bit of brightness, you know. So let's go ahead and smush that. Okay, and I'm going to get my darker line around there. But see, some of the paint didn't touch some of the paper, so there's still some little bald spots. So that's sort of fun. You can take another, you know, kind of fun bright color. And oops, I'm trying to get some green gold here. So a little green gold. Do that here. And that's with watercolor over the top, and that watercolor is going to kind of stick to some of the bald spots of the paper, right? So that it just makes it really, I don't know, just so full of texture, and it just makes it really fun to keep building that. I love doing that with faces. I love doing it with florals. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing your art foamies with your gel plates. And I know I had way too much. I was so excited. I think I just got really, really ahead of myself. And of course, cannot show every technique tonight. But hopefully you are inspired and you will go and pull out your gel plate and your favorite art foamies, and you'll have a little bit of fun. Let's see here. Yes. Kristen says, I want to try the KP Moon Art Foamy with the gel plate now. It will be fun. The mushrooms will look really nice, adding a layer of black textures with the pen or other colors. Yes. And so there you have it. You definitely then can go back over and doodle or, you know, add more details using your paint markers or your detail pens, whatever, you know. Anyway, do you have any thoughts or questions? Let's go ahead. Would you like to play the numbers game? We can do that really quick before we say goodbye because I know I'm running late and we're going to go have an after party. For anybody who wants to come over and do a couple more techniques, I will pull out the Yasutomo paper and pull a print with that, and we'll just, you know, catch up on a couple other things. I do have a special announcement to make about next week, about our next Art Foamy Fun. So I hope you'll come over to the after party so you can hear about the exciting news for next week. And we are going to have a little discount. Your discount tonight, and it's through the weekend. It will end on Sunday at midnight Central. It is Lucky 17, and that will give you 17% off at artfoamies.com. Remember, if you are a Moonie, generally your discount is even better than that. But that is your code if you would like to shop. Lucky 17. Oh, did I not put that? Why did that happen? Lucky 17. That is the discount code, okay? If you'd like to get a discount this weekend at artfoamies.com, use the code Lucky17. Now, we haven't started the numbers game yet. I'm starting in just a second. It is, if you get the closest person to the number without going over will win. What are you winning tonight? Guess what? I have a brand new 6x6 gel press plate that I will send to you if you get the number right. I'm going to write the number on this little post-it right now. If you go over, or if the closest person without going over will win. We can only have one winner tonight, okay? Because I only have one gel press plate to give away. So don't start yet without me. I haven't even written the number yet. So you have to start over. And I'm going to tell you when, okay? So the number is written on this Post-it. I hope you didn't see that, did you? And it's a completely new number, so you got to start completely over. I'm going to give you until 5:12, starting right now. Right now, after Linda Beaudry. Start over. You all have to wait till I say go. Go. And I'm going to, okay. So Linda, yes, stop right now. Stop, and now start again. Thank you. You're all too fast. Okay, Ashley Worth, 27. Bliss Angel Studio, 21. Pam Shales, 26. Dare B, 72. D. Ray, 15. Where did I leave off? D. Ray, 15. Where are you, D. Ray? Elsie, 77. Heather Bailey, 5. Jim Smith, 17. Catherine Guerrero, 88. Susan Horn, 23. Sharon, 72. Marika, 33. Jim again, 17. Kathleen Hartley, 31. Patty's Vintage Shop, 22. Crafts by You, 70. Terry Moore, 53. Acme Post, 38. Orange Spiral, 22. Ginger Sparks, 2. Christina, 33. Lisa, 13. Liz, 62. Linda Weber, 7. Mary Lynn Kelly, 77. Evelyn Nagel, 73. Carmen, it's going to be from 1 to 100, just like always. I'm sorry about that. I will, from now on, I'll try to make sure to say it, because I know that's crazy, right? So it's from 1 to 100. Ellen Bush, 18. Kathy Bernard, 45. Estrella, 84. Jenny Maroney, 74. Kathleen Hartley, 31. Roberta, 29. Linda Beaudry, 69. Jim again, 17, Cecilia, 74, Susan, 36, Elsie, 77, Mystic, 39, Susan, 23, Susan L, H, 36, Bliss Angel again, 21, Jamie Hughes, 51, Carmen Jones, 67, Evelyn Nagel, 73. Go ahead, CK, we're doing it. 4 for Deb Peak, Ellen Bush, 18, Marika, 33, Kathleen, 31. Am I just repeating because or you're reposting? I'm not sure. Where are we? Kathleen Hartley, 31, Christina Main, 32, CK, 44, Nancy Gray, 59, Susan L, 36, Postal Orphan, 41, Twisted Stitch, 43, Maureen Nidenthal, 22, Liz, 62, Kristen Hoffman, 55, Cecilia, 73, Estrella, 84, Linda Beaudry, 69. All right, we are cutting off the number calling, and I have to go back through from where we started again and just see if I have a winner. Let's see where I started again. All right, we're starting back with CK where she said stop. Okay, so I'm going back through the numbers. Derby. Let's see, I got to look at my number. Remember what I wrote. Okay. We don't have anybody on the nose that I see so far. And I think the closest person, let me just check back. Closest person. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have ended, and I believe, let me just make sure. Going one more time. I'm thinking that we have a winner. The closest without going over is my friend Kristen Hoffman at 55. Woohoo! Kristen Hoffman, my number was 58. You win the gel press plate, a 6x6 gel plate. Thank you so much. Remember, your code is LUCKY17. It's good through Sunday. I hope that you will come on over and join me for the after party. The link should be out. Just give me 5 minutes and I'll meet you over there. You know the deal. Stay safe, stay sane, stay makey. Thank you so much for joining me for ArtFoamies Fun. I will see you real soon. Have a great weekend. And you know the deal. Stay safe, stay sane, and stay makey. It's important.